Hey cuties and ghouls, it's Heather. So this is a video that I've tried to make a couple times now, and every time I just get really emotional and I just get frustrated because I feel like nothing is coming out the right way. And this is not where I want to stay. You know, I want to be out there filming something new. I want to come up with, what can I film here in my tiny bedroom? What is going to be in this next chapter as far as content creation? Is this the time for me to come back? Do I have other things I need to work on first? So many questions, and I know that making videos like this isn't benefiting this channel. I've kind of accepted that my time as a YouTuber is over and this is kind of like the afterlife of my channel. And so I understand this video isn't going to help this channel at all, but I feel like it's going to help me, and I feel like that's what's important in the long run. So in this little personal video, I wanted to talk about where I'm at in life, what's next for me, and I wanted very badly to clear my name against some of the misconceptions about me, and I wanted to explain what's going on with all this, why I dress like this and etc., because I feel like it's just so misunderstood and I have been labeled as such a villain, and it's really just kind of pushed me away from people, and I've been in this place where I just kind of self-isolate and I don't really want to talk to people. And I was always a very friendly person, and now I'm very guarded about who I get close to, and that's no way to live. And I'm tired of just having to feel bad about who I am and what I love and about my art, and I'm just over it. I'm over people online who don't even know me making me feel bad about how I dress and what I like. I'm not gonna let external forces ruin things for me anymore, and I feel like that's always been a problem for me. The fashion change, let's talk about that, because there is such a misconception about that, and it really hurts me, and that's why I tend to lash out and defend myself, and then I look even worse because people just don't seem to get why I'm hurt and why I've been so distant from wanting to film videos anymore, and why I disabled comments and etc. So the truth is that whether you believe me or not, it's the truth. This is how I dressed for years and years, except for I used to have black hair. And basically from the age of I think I was 10 or 11 when I got interested in goth, until I think my very early 20s, this was basically how I dressed, except for I think I've sorted out my fashion to a point where I feel a lot better about it now, but I've always been an alternative kid, and that was just me. I was always very creative. I had darker interest. I loved darker fashion, and you might hear the dog playing with a squeaky chicken. Maybe you don't, I don't know, but that's what that is. But anyway, so whenever I was younger, these were my core interests. Everybody in school was scared of me. Family at the time was not supportive about it, and that was very hard for me because all I was doing was expressing my creative image for myself and wearing things that made me feel like I could do anything. And I kind of feel like I'm going through that rejection all over again. So I kind of moved away from that in my early 20s because things were kind of crazy in my life, and I went through such a hard time, with dressing like this and how I was treated by people, that I just moved forward to the next thing. And for me, the next thing, I didn't know what it was gonna be, but at a certain period in my life, I discovered kawaii fashion. And at first I had my little ball jointed dolls, and I would dress them up kind of like they were my avatar, how I would put myself out in the world and make friends. I would kind of dress the dolls like how I wanted to dress, and after a while, I decided that, that darn squeaky chicken, I decided that it was time for me to, you know, be the doll and dress myself up and have fun. And so I started like experimenting with cute clothes, and I just felt like on me, there were very few things that I wore in the colorful clothes that really made me feel good and confident. Like I had a few outfits I really liked, but for the most part, I just felt silly all the time. Like I felt really insecure, and I feel like with alternative fashion in general, like you just have to have a lot of confidence and really like love what you wear to, you know, feel good in it. And for me, with like the kawaii clothes, while I love the style and like I was so immersed in it, like the whole aesthetic was my life, I just noticed like I just felt so insecure all the time. So during this period in my life, I went through this time where I put on quite a lot of weight, and I would basically read the things that people said about me that weren't true. And I would get so upset and I would binge eat. Like I would eat like 2 pizzas while I cried, and I put on about 50 pounds. So there was a period in my life where I realized like there was so much that was just toxic for me, between the relationship I was in, like the marriage I was in, and you know, the online stuff. And so I started putting myself first, and I started really thinking about what do I want to get out of life and what can I do to ease all this pain I'm in. And so I started a plant-based diet, and I started walking every day and listening to meditative like YouTube videos about different things about life and bettering myself. And I ended up losing, I think, over 40 pounds. And then after that, I started being able to wear clothes I couldn't really wear before. And I noticed that like I just had this whole new boost of confidence, and I started wearing clothes that match that confidence. And for me, like putting on a pair of like black knee-high boots and black leggings just made me feel so good again. And I realized like I was getting back in touch with like the person I was growing up, the person that just kind of got chased away, you know. And I just started really thinking in my life like, okay, like what is my life missing? My life's missing adventure. My life was just very isolating. Like I just had myself in a room filled with stuff. I mean, when I made the video announcing that I didn't want to do thrifting anymore, it was because like the only thing I could do for fun at that time was go shopping for stuff. And I had so much stuff that, no joke, I couldn't walk in my studio. I couldn't walk into my bedroom. I was surrounded by piles of things and boxes, and it was kind of like, it was a hoarder situation at a certain point, and it was not healthy, and I was frustrated. And it was really hard to like announce that I didn't want to do that anymore. Like I wanted to make content that I felt like was more meaningful. And people were so mad at me and so disappointed, and they started to hate me. What people don't understand is that all the changes over the past year or two in my life are positive. And it's really hard for me to upload a YouTube video and then there will be a ton of likes on a comment saying that all the changes in my life means that I need to go see a doctor and I'm very sick. And I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? You really wanted me to stay in a life that I was so unhappy in and to be not so confident and not enjoying what I was doing? Like, that's better? So I just feel like people don't understand me at all, and they don't understand the situation I was in and the toxic relationship I was in, and how my life is so much better now. Not only am I more confident in who I am, but now like I'm able to actually adult. Like, I have a full-time job, I bought myself a car, I drive myself onto adventures, I'm able to provide for myself, and that's something that I wasn't able to do in my old life. So all the changes I've made have been for the better, and I feel like I finally had the tools in my life and the power to say like, okay, I can finally be the person I always wanted to be. And I'm just tired of having to feel bad about myself. I'm tired of like, everybody hates me and feeling like I'm this giant freak because of the art I make and how I dress and because it's not what other people want. But I also learned during this period of time, you know, who my real friends are and who was just my friend because they wanted to get close to like the objects I owned. Because it was like funny because like the minute I leave a hobby, like suddenly my so-called friends are gone. You know what I mean? Like they want nothing to do with me because I'm not in that hobby anymore. So let's talk about the toy content. Let's talk about this channel. Let's talk about Heather Sparkles. So I just wanted to say that I freaking love vintage toys. I love the 90s. Like today I was thinking about how badly I wanted to do a 90s makeover video, and like I was planning like all the little accessories I was gonna get, and I was like nostalging out like about my childhood and like, oh my god, this video is gonna be so fun because I lived it and I get to relive it because I freaking love the 90s. And whenever I was younger, like going and hunting for the vintage toys was so much fun. It was fun a year ago to do. But what I didn't really like after a while was doing videos on the new toys, because for one, I didn't want to make content for kids because then I felt like I couldn't be myself and talk like a normal person. Like I knew that as a content creator, I wanted to be able to create other types of videos. I wanted to create videos that were more raw and real, and I wanted to travel and just show like, this is life, this is what it's about. I wanted to be able to swear, which you can't really do much on YouTube anyway, but I just felt like I couldn't be me, you know, like, people have said that I led on the toy community. I don't know how that could be because I've been nothing but honest. I expressed to you guys that like, hey, I don't feel good about this anymore, and I got basically crucified over it, you know. But basically the videos that I didn't feel good about were whenever I was sent toys that had like nothing to do with, you know, my interests, and you know, I filmed little reviews for them because I thought people would find it helpful, but the truth is, like, I wasn't really feeling that stuff. There were a few newer toys I really liked and I hunted down and I enjoyed making videos on, but there were things where I just felt silly and uncomfortable and awkward, and I was like, this isn't me, like, this isn't what I want to do. But the thing is, like, I always loved the vintage toys. I just needed a break because my life was so freaking crazy. And whenever things finally settled down and I could come back, there was a ton of hate and I was not welcome back. And I definitely feel like I'm not welcome to make videos about that collection anymore. And it's hard to at the moment because my collection is in a storage unit and I am spending over $160 a month to keep that stuff there. Because where I'm at right now, I don't have any room for a collection. And I'm just keeping it there until I can sort out, you know, moving and everything, and I'm just trying to pull my life together. And what really hurt was when I made that video unbagging my collection. Like, the whole point of that video was to see which pieces of my collection I was still really attached to, because I have to skim down for financial reasons, and people just didn't get that. They were just calling me fake and a horrible person, and people were just going on and on about the treatment of the collection and how dare I and how I didn't deserve it. And you know, so many people were upset that the toys were in bags, and what they didn't know is, you know, I got those back in my divorce and I was separated from them for quite some time. So it really hurt me how people were more concerned about toys in a bag than why they were in a bag, you know, why I was separated from the collection. It just felt like people didn't see the human being behind the content. And in the past, whenever I said Heather Sparkles isn't real, what I meant by that is whenever you watch a YouTuber or see an influencer's pictures on Instagram, you're seeing a pinhole of their life, and you can't claim to know it all about their life. You can't claim to know them. And that's what I meant by that. Like, 5 minutes before I made a video, maybe I was crying, maybe there was a big fight. You don't know, you know what I mean? And so whenever I said Heather Sparkles wasn't real, that's what I meant by that. There's so much more to someone's life than a YouTube channel. And whenever someone starts sharing other interests, it's because we're multifaceted people, and sometimes we change, or sometimes we revisit something in our life, or sometimes we try something. And I've been treated like I'm a horrible person for changing, and change is wrong, and I'm like a freak and everything else. And I think what hurts the most, the one thing that really gets me, why I've basically gone away, is because on that video there were so many comments saying that I need to be seen by a doctor because I changed my fashion style and because of the changes in my life. And what people don't get is that all these changes were very positive, and I don't need to be seen by a doctor. Like, this is who I am, this is what I love, and I still love that old stuff too, but I've been treated like I'm not allowed to like both. Like, I can't like my abandoned stuff and my cemetery art and my darker, more serious clothing, along with liking vintage collectibles. I never understood that. I never understood how videos on old places and videos on old toys like retro collectibles can't go together. And that's a big thing I'm working on for my new content plan. Like, even if I'm not welcome to make videos on toys anymore, I'm still going to. I'm still gonna cover vintage toys because I like them. And so many people were calling me fake for making videos on the vintage toys again, and I was like, oh my god, like, whenever I watch this when I'm editing, I'm gonna be like, this is so ridiculous. Like, I'm just so beyond this now. Like, I'm at such a different point in my life, and it's so petty. Like, this is pettiness. This is silliness, and I shouldn't let this stop me from making content. This has been driving me crazy and bringing out the worst in me. Always having to defend myself, always having to explain myself, always being on edge, not feeling like I can trust people. Like, I'm so over this. Like, I'm not going to apologize for who I am, what I love. I'm a multifaceted person. I like wearing a ton of black, but also listening to bubbly pop music because it makes me happy. I do what makes me happy. And I don't have to explain why I like things or why I changed, but I just felt like I needed to, because, you know, I just felt like it might help me to do that, to put that out there. I like what I like. I'm Heather. You know, and I feel like with this channel, I always use objects to like hide behind, and now it's just me. And it's hard to come up with what I want to actually film, but I'm going to. And you could sit there and call me fake or whatever, but life is too short, and I have a life to live and enjoy, and I'm gonna share and enjoy the things I love. And that's it. That's it. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm coming back to this channel. So I bought myself a camera. I bought myself a camera because I'm ready to come back. And I'm not letting anyone run me out of hobbies anymore. I'm getting back into the ball jointed doll hobby, something I did love, but that was so complicated, and there was a group of people I was dealing with that were bullying me, and I don't want to deal with it anymore. I'm getting back into ball jointed dolls. I'm getting back into vintage toys. And on this channel, we are going to go to old and interesting places and cover makeup and fashion, and that's what I'm gonna do. And if people don't like it, it's fine. I've come to realize that my life isn't about like popularity. It's about getting something out of it. And for me, being behind the camera or in front of the camera is just fun. It's fun. It's an outlet, and I'm taking back that outlet. So that's what I wanted to talk about. You know, I'm really tired of people saying I need to be sent away and be seen by a doctor and all the other stuff because I changed, when they don't know, like, this is just who I am and what I like. And people that have known me since high school know, like, this is me, you know, and I'm just gonna do me and share my story. And that's what this new chapter is about. It's about freedom. That's where the name Heather Explores comes from. I'm not stuck in my room anymore. You know, I can drive, I can go places, and I am ready to like see what's out there and to share it on film. And that's what I want to do. So yeah, I just had to get that off my chest, that little rant. I've come to figure out that the videos I really want to make requires so much planning. Like there are days where I'll do my hair and makeup and I'll go out with my camera and then I'm like, oh crap, I don't actually know what to film. So I need to start like really thinking about what I want to make and create. And you know, as I was doing this whole rant a couple of times trying to film this, there was a moment where I got a notification on my phone and I looked down and my boyfriend had liked a picture I took of us holding hands. And that made me realize that like this is so over. Like this whole thing, worrying about people, explaining myself and etc. Like this isn't really what matters in life. What really matters in life is love and adventure, and for the first time my life actually has possibilities for what I can do with it, and I have a lot to look forward to. And this internet shit, it doesn't really matter. What people think about me doesn't really matter. You know, I have so much to look forward to, and I finally have what I really wanted: freedom, love, adventure, independence, skills. I like myself, I'm comfortable with myself, and that is what it is. So I will eventually get back to making content for this channel. I'm working on it, I'm trying to figure it out. I very badly want to come back. I am just at a point in my life where it's more about building my life, and so many people try to invalidate me. Like it's hard whenever like you're working all the time and you're so tired, and then people are online and telling you to get a job when you like work 40 hours a week and like you take care of yourself, but it's just so much. And that's why I've disabled comments. I think it's very toxic for me and for my life right now, and I feel like it's toxic for other people to read, because like I'll read other YouTubers' comments and I get depressed because I'm like, this is crazy. Like I watch a happy video and I'm like, yay, and then I go to the comments and people are just saying such negative things, and it's like, oh my god. So I don't want that as part of, you know, the Heather Explorers channel. Like I just don't want that. People are gonna talk, people are gonna continue to try to ruin my life, and that's fine, but I'm just gonna move forward and carry on and film and have a good time. So anyway guys, I'm gonna figure out what exactly I'm gonna film. It's just gonna require a lot of planning. I don't want to make another video like this. I've already said it 3 times. This obviously has been really bothering me, and yeah, baby steps. I'm just gonna try different types of videos and we're gonna go from there. And I can't wait to be at the point where I'm actually making videos again and not being stuck in this place. So anyway, that's all for this video, and I'll talk to you guys later. Hopefully not about this shit anymore, but I just wanted to clear a few things up about this. It's still not gonna be like how I wanted to express it. I know it, like there'll be moments in the middle of the night where I'm thinking about like, but this is why this is, and I, you know, I'm pouring my heart in my head, like, but then I go to sit down and film it and it never comes out right. But whatever, it is what it is. People are gonna think what they want to think. People constantly call me fake, and all I can do is just be me. I accept I'm a giant outcast. Nobody likes me. It's whatever. Whenever I'm out taking pictures, I've come to realize that like I found something that I do solo that makes me happy, and it doesn't really matter whether people like it or not. Once you're doing the things that you really love, it doesn't matter whether people like it or not, because you're able to enjoy it. And that's what matters in life, is enjoying your life, being healthy and happy. And yeah, that's all. I need to shut up now. I'll talk to you guys later, hopefully about something positive. Bye for now.